ago, the conviction of being in this place Sunday morning. Amen. All right, I want you to turn to the book of Numbers tonight. Numbers chapter number 22. Numbers chapter 22 tonight. We'll go ahead and read several verses. I want to ask you to stand tonight because we've got several verses to read. And then we'll go on in and try to preach. We're going to preach this tonight. Another detour in the Bible we're going to look at tonight. Verse 21 says, "And Balaam rose up early in the morning and saddled his ass and went with the princes of Moab. And God's anger was kindled because he went, and the angel of the Lord stood in the way for an adversary against him. Now he was riding upon his ass, and his two servants were with him. And the ass saw the angel of the Lord standing in the way, and his sword drawn in his hand, and the ass turned aside out of the way, and went into the field, and Balaam smote the ass to turn her into the way. But the angel of the Lord stood in the path of the vineyards and the wall, and being on this side and the wall on that side. And when the ass saw the angel of the Lord, she thrust herself under the wall and crushed Balaam's foot against the wall. He smote her again. And the angel of the Lord went further and stood in a narrow place where there was no way to turn either to the right or the left. And when the ass saw the angel of the Lord, she fell down under Balaam, and Balaam's anger was kindled, and he smote the ass with his staff. And the Lord opened the mouth of the ass, and she said unto Balaam, What have I done to thee that thou hast smitten me these 3 times? Balaam said unto the ass, Because thou hast mocked me, I would there was a sword in my hand, for now I will kill thee. And the ass said unto Balaam, Am I not thine ass? Upon thy head ridden ever since I was thine unto this day. Will thou ever to do so unto thee? And he said, Nay. Then the angel of the Lord opened the eyes of Balaam, and he saw the angel of the Lord standing in the way, and his sword drawn in his hand, and he bowed down his head and fell flat on his face. And the angel of the Lord said unto him, Wherefore hast thou smitten thine ass these 3 times? Behold, I went out to withstand thee, because thy way is perverse before me. And the ass saw me and turned from me these 3 times, unless she had turned from me. Surely now also I had slain thee and saved her life. And Balaam said unto the angel, Lord, I have sinned. For I know that know not that thou standest in the way against me. Now therefore, if I displease thee, I will get thee back again. Father, bless the reading of your word. In Jesus' name, amen. We all know this story about Balaam, how Balak had hired Balaam to go curse Israel. But we see the story here, what happened. We see here, first of all, there's a great deal of things that happened before this. God had already commanded Balaam not to curse Israel. But we see here Balaam, he had other interest in his mind. He had got away from God. And he was more interested in money than anything else, because they were going to pay him to curse Israel. And we see here Balaam had a detour. God had to put Balaam on a detour. The detour of correction. Many times, there's a lot of people tonight in our churches that God has to do that too. Has to put them on a detour of correction in their life, to show them what they need to do. Sometimes we, God's people, we get kind of away off our course, and God changes our course sometimes. And God puts us on the course of correction, or a detour of correction, so we can get back to where He would be pleased with us. It's a battle with our flesh, isn't it? It's a battle with it. We battle it every day. None of us are exempt from the flesh trying to rule in our life. Balaam was no different. Balaam had got straight away from God. We see what happened. He got his eyes. It might be a lot of these televangelists on TV, these big mega churches and all these how they got their eyes on the crowd, the money and the popularity and everything else, and they got their eyes off of focus. And I do believe some of them may have started out on the right track, but they've got off course. And then here how happened to Balaam. Balaam here, God had to put him on a course or a detour of correction. God had to put a detour in his life so he could correct him. And sometimes that's the way God does these people. And if you're saved by the grace of God, and you're not, and you get like Balaam, you get away from God and you'll get off course, God will put a detour correction in your life to get you straightened out, you see. Paul even said, he said, I do what I should. He said, the flesh, even Jesus even said that the spirit is willing, but what the flesh is weak. Now we see in the story here. What had happened? We're going to go a little detail. We'll try to be brief as we can. I want to preach about the detour of correction. God put having a detour of correction in our life. We see here first, as we read the scripture, we see here what had happened, what we said, and how that the men of Moab came to Balaam and asked him would he come with them. And Balaam sought God's will. God told Balaam, said, don't go with them. Said if they come back tomorrow and call you to go, said you go. But we see here Balaam got ahead of God. Balaam got up before he even came and went with them, and we see here God put him on a detour of correction. Let me tell you one thing, friend. You can see here, God had first told him in verse 12, God said unto Balaam, thou shalt not go with them, thou shalt not curse the people, for they are blessed. And we see here that the king sent more honorable men of honor to Balaam. First he just sent men of more honor to Balaam the second time. And they said, hey, we want you to come. And Balaam was probably intrigued by his pride. You know, somebody of great honor come and asked me a favor. And he went on and was headed out to do what they asked him to do. God already said, hey, I don't want you to do it. But Balaam still persisted in it. Sometimes God will let you be in his permissive will instead of his direct will. God will let you get enough rope to hang yourself, buddy. He'll get you to the place where he'll say, yeah, you know what to do? They say, okay, you go ahead and go. You go ahead and do it. Just like you know how you got youngins and they've made messes. We've all made messes in our lives. They'll say, Mama, Daddy, I want to buy a new car and truck. They say, son, you say, son, $1. You know you can't afford that truck or that car or whatever, but they do it anyway, and they went to God later on. They wish Mama, listen, Mama, Daddy. You see, they were not in the right will. They were in their will. God allows us sometimes things to come in our life, and we rebel, we resist the wisdom of God and the leading of God. And sometimes God said, okay, well, I'll let you go ahead and do it. He's going to pay the price. And he allowed, he didn't stop Balaam. He didn't stop him. But we see what happened. Balaam had his actions of going and doing what God had already told him not to go. Told him not to do. He did it. God had something waiting on him. God had a correction, put him on a detour correction. I can see him now saddling that donkey. And boy, he was going to go and do what he wanted to do. Hey, the beauty of people tonight, Brother Mike, they jump on their donkey. They say, God, I know I don't want to do it. They'll jump on that donkey and they said, I'm going to go do what I want to do. Hey, it's not important what God wants, it's what I want. And they do that, and God has to pull out the hickory. And buddy, when he gets through whipping, ain't nothing but blood left. Amen.
Amen.
So we see here, we talk about a detour correction. Why did God correct him? What was the reason for this correction? The Bible even said in verse 22 of chapter 22, he said, and God's anger was kindled, talking about kindled get Balaam, because he went. And he said here, also, he said something else. He said, first God was angry. He said in verse 32, he said, your way is perverse before me. So we see here, God was mad. Everything God gets mad at us, I believe he does, don't you?
Amen.
And we see here what happened here. Even though he told them to go the second time, they go ahead and go on. But God's really, his real will was for Balaam to not do it. God ain't going to force you to do his will. You understand that tonight? We didn't understand it. God's not going to pull a gun on you and hold your head and say, you're going to do what I say. I'm going to blow your brains out. He will say, go ahead and do it if you want to. But if you do, you'll wish to God you had not done it. Amen? So we see what happened. He was mad. What was the reason for him correcting him? Because he said here, see, he had an attitude of stubbornness. He had an attitude. He had an attitude and his motive. He had motive for money. And he said, hey, I'm going. I want to tell you one thing, friend. A lot of times people get out of the will of God because their motives in doing that is wrong. Their attitudes are wrong. And here what Balaam was. He said, hey, God said, don't do it. He said, I want to do it anyway. God got mad. God said, go ahead. Your ways perverse before me. Let me tell you what, friend. One thing about it, if you chose to choose a path or a lifestyle, if you decide to go another way, amen, that anger of God, you will find yourself, God will put you on a detour of correction. I believe tonight, friend, a lot of people, Brother Josh, Brother Mike, Brother Phil, I believe a lot of Christians tonight, they on that detour correction, and they're too stubborn, they're too perverse, they're too hard-headed to realize God got them on a donkey, and one before it's all good, he's going to crush them against the wall. You watch. But they won't listen. But I'll show you what. It was that hard and that pathetic spirit that he displayed in his life. That some people never are going to be in God's will completely. And I don't say they're not saved. I don't say that they're not good people. But they have an attitude and a spirit they develop over the hardness of the heart that, hey, I'm going to go so far and that's all. So we see here. Of course, it gets like that, they're headed for a detour of correction. Some of you may have never got a lot of whippings when you were little. I got my share, but I should have probably got more. And a whole lot I've done, Mama and them do, they probably had killed me, I imagine. But tell you what, you know what happened? Why I did a lot of times, because maybe my mama did say, don't you do this. Or maybe I done something I knew that was wrong, and it wasn't wrong, Mama, and they corrected me. I done it because I thought I could get by with it. That's where a lot of folks are. They think, well, I can get by with that. Some more preachers say you sit down and pay later. That's right. But he put on a detour correction. Balaam said, I'm gonna get on this donkey. I'm gonna ride out of here. I'm gonna go do what I want to do. I'm gonna get me that love offer they're gonna give me, and I'm gonna be fine. God said, that's what you think, oh boy. I see him throw his leg across that donkey. He said, I'm going now. See what happened. God says you may go, but you ain't gonna get there. Hey, you know what? The old prodigal, he left. He went way out the hog pen. He thought I'm going to do it. God said, you'll go. You'll get there, but you ain't going to stay there. You'll be back. I want to show you something, friend. A lot of people get restless and hard and stubborn, and the heart gets hardened. You know what? They had to create that. Sometime when you get like that, brother, better make some of the terriblest decisions in their life.
That's right.
You know what really burdens me up sometimes, really bothers me, I should use that word. As you see people that won't half serve God, and they won't half live for God. But they won't come to church, they won't tithe, they won't do nothing, and all of a sudden things get torn up, everything goes all haywire, and they will begin to wonder, what's going on? And you want to say, anybody home? See, God put Balaam on that detour correction. He developed an attitude, a rebellious attitude, a perverse attitude, a stubborn attitude, an attitude where he didn't care. You see what's wrong with a lot of folks today? They more care they care more what they want than what the Lord wants. So, the Bible says it over here in Zechariah 7:12. What he says here, he said, Yea, they made their hearts as adamant stone, lest they should hear the law and the words which the Lord of the hosts had sent by his Spirit by former prophets. Therefore came a great wrath from the Lord of hosts. He said he made a hardened their heart. But I'll show you something. We see here the reason. His attitude, his spirit, wrong spirit. Let me tell you what, you start getting the wrong spirit. You start coming to church and have a wrong spirit about things and about people. You start having the wrong spirit about the preaching of the Word of God and the church and people in the church, and wrong spirit about everything spiritual. God's going to get you, going to ring your bell. God's fixing to put you on that detour of destruction, of correction. Not only we see the reason for it, but I want to show you something else. We need to see the roadblocks that God put in the way. God put a roadblock. When a person gets on the wrong path and they make some terrible choices in their life, God has set roadblocks in their life to try to get their attention and stop them and turn them back. How many of y'all go there? How many of y'all go, maybe that they put a new bridge in somewhere? How many of y'all will go down the road and you saw these barricades all over there where they got a place you can turn around, but you can't go through there because they got it blocked off because they got a bridge completely tore out for the rebuilding the bridge. How many would be foolish enough to get out of your car or your truck and pull them barriers out of the way and drive on into the raging river to kill you and your family? Say, nobody would. God sets roadblocks in people's lives. God will make people have finance trouble, Brother Mike. God will make people have health problems. God will even allow marital problems in their life. That's the roadblock God sets up. That detour of correction God is using. We need to understand, people need to understand when things start happening like that in our life, we need to check up and say, God, what is it you're trying to show me? But I will show you something else here. A lot of times when we're on detour corrections, others will see others will see the harm you're going to do to yourself before you will. You know what? Most times you're the last one to notice it. Most of the time. You're the last one to realize it. And your loved one to try to say, hey, be careful. They get mad at you. Well, you try to tell you, or you'll get mad at them. They come to you and they say, look, you know you're in the wrong direction. You messed up. And you get back where you ought to be with God. They say, you mind your own business with me, and you just keep your mouth shut to me. That's what they'll say a lot of people. They try to warn you, that makes you mad, and it makes you more determined to do it because, you know why? Because you say, I'm going to do it, because you say, I can't do it. That's where little youngsters are. When they're little, you tell them not to do that, they will do it because they want to do it. Not because they say you tell them not to, they do it because they want to do it. And you know what? This donkey had more sense than Balaam. He did. Balaam, the donkey had more sense, more discernment. The donkey saw the warning sign before Balaam did. Everybody say donkeys and mules are stupid. No, they're not. My daddy-in-law brother had a mule years ago, and out there he balked and wouldn't do it. And they said he picked up a dirt clod and thought that mule, and he ducked and missed. Mules ain't done. But Balaam was spiritually dumber than this mule. The mule knew what was going on. He knew the trouble that was heading. He knew what was going on. And he tried to prevent Balaam from getting hurt. Balaam didn't like it, you see. When the donkey saw the angel standing in the path of Balaam with his sword, he went out into the field. Do you know a donkey or mule? If you look at an aerial view of a donkey or a mule, they got a cross on their back. Did you know that? Have you ever known that? Let me tell you what, if you say about the grace of God, God won't let you go so far. Balaam was there. That donkey saw all the things going on. Let me tell you what. And Balaam didn't understand. And he hated it. He was going to beat the fire. He beat the fire out of that donkey. A lot of times, that donkey was trying to help him. Actually, that's what he was trying to do. He was trying to help him. But a lot of times, when people in shape like Balaam was, you try to help them, they'll hurt you. They'll try their best to hurt you. Hurt your feelings. Because you know what you say, you interfere with my space. You get in my business. You ever heard people say, you get in my business? Old Balaam on that donkey. That donkey saw that boy, that donkey had more respect for God than Balaam did. And he was just a beast. When people, you know what, they'll lash out at you when you say, hey, you need to get. I've told people, I've tried to help people, say you need to do this, make your testimony better, and they will not do it. They're going to do what they want to do. They'll get mad if you say, hey, look, you want to do this, man, do this, and you don't want to refrain from saying this, and you ought to act different and do this, and they'll get mad and say, don't tell me what to do. I'm going to do what I want to do. Balaam, we see what happened. He was determined to go the way he wanted to go. The ways of man is not the ways of death, the Word of God says. God tried to get Balaam's attention through this donkey. You see, he thought that donkey was being stupid. He didn't know what he was talking about. And people treat us like it sometimes. When we try to warn them, they think we're stupid. We don't know what we're talking about. Some of these younger generation too. Now you know what I'm telling the truth. Some of y'all older folk, my age a little bit, y'all know what, all you know, you'll say, you try to say it, you didn't only do it, they'll say, I know. But they say, no, I don't want to hear it. That's exactly what they say. You ever heard, your young devil told that brother tonight? Yeah. Hey, you ever told young devil, yeah, I know. You know what they said? They ain't said, I know. They said, shut up, Daddy, Mom, I don't want to hear it. Ain't that right? I'm right. You see, they think we're about 2 days older than dirt, and amen, that we don't know nothing. But I tell you what, the older you get, you do get a little bit more wisdom. And I say, thank you, God, amen. Balaam resisted the warning and kept on going. And more you resist. You've got to notice every time. The first time wasn't near as bad. The second time, he crushed his foot against the wall. The third time, he came to a narrow place and we couldn't go nowhere. God got a little bit more degrees, a little more severe on the way. That's the way God does. That's the way He does us. When He puts us on that detour correction, we may get slack on God. God may let something happen. Maybe you have a flat tire, or maybe it costs you a little more. You keep it going and far as though we got health problems, or financial problems, or marital problems. Before you know it, something more drastic to happen. God many times deals with us in degrees of chastisement. He'll start off right, but he has to end up going strong on a lot of people. I want you to read verse 25. I'll read verse 25. You see what he said in verse 25 here. Something else over here and get it here. And when they asked all the angel of the Lord, she thrust herself under the wall and crushed Balaam's foot. Against the wall, he smote her again. And the angel of the Lord went further and stood in a narrow place where there was no way to turn to the right hand or the left. What did he do, preacher? God got in a place we couldn't do nothing but look up to Him. Right. Sometimes God has to go to that extreme in people's lives. Many times we want to sometimes, and I know a lot of times we go through times, the dry spells in our life we do. But when things start happening in my life, I say, Lord, I need you to show me, please. That Lord, search my heart, try my reins, and show me, God, what it is in my life. And a lot of times it may not be a sin. That may be something you grieve the Holy Ghost over. So. But see what happened here. God put the roadblocks up. But I want to show you something else too here. Balaam got to a place that he couldn't do nothing but look to God. When you get angry, you tend to do that because you just go further and further and you get angry. Because you can't, you see what's wrong with a lot of people, they're mad because they can't have their way. You get mad, a lot of people get so mad sometimes because they can't seem to see no problem solved that they're praying about. But because God's trying to get them to understand, hey, there's things in your life you need to understand. I've got you to this place to help you, not to hurt you. But look at the donkey. We see look at the reason of the donkey. Look at the reason of the donkey. The Bible says, verse 28, and the Lord opened the mouth of the ass, and she spake unto Balaam, what have I done unto thee, that thou hast smitten me these 3 times? And Balaam said unto the ass, because thou hast bought me out with a sword in my hand, for now I would kill thee. And answered unto Balaam, and unto that ass, upon that which I have written ever since I was down unto this day, was I ever wont to do so unto thee? And he said, nay. God was trying to get Balaam's attention through this donkey, through the weird behavior of the donkey. He still ain't got the message. A lot of people make the same mistake. God tried to get your attention through the preacher, through maybe somebody else's testimony, through an example of somebody else that's failed and God had to chase them in and put them on the detour correction. But Balaam was angry. See, God used the donkey to cue Balaam, to let him know, hey, you're heading the wrong way. God, he missed a cue, so you know what? God turned his communication to a rare matter. He had that donkey to spare. Now, I want to tell you something. I want to ask you something, Brother Phil. You go up there and feed them mules tomorrow, and one of them mules look at you and talk to you, I believe I would broad jump that field. Broad jump that field. It would be a very weird thing to happen. Hey, there ain't no such thing as Francis the talking mule or Mr. A. Amen. So we see God use the weird behavior of the donkey to try to get Balaam's attention. He opened her mouth. But you know how he responded? Balaam was so mad and so angry that even this response to that donkey didn't even surprise him. He said, if I had a sword right now, I'd kill you. I'd kill you. I'm going to tell you what, I've been preaching a long time. I have had them walk out on me. And I've had them grip the pew, anger boiled in their bones. And I feel like it'd probably be like that, what Balaam said, if I had a sword, I'd kill you. I'll tell you something. God was trying to get his attention. God was trying to get his attention. Balaam told the donkey, I ought to kill you. I wish I could have killed you. But here's the highlight of the thing. Balaam was just about ready to make a turn. Why? Because he began to listen to the one that was trying to help him. It might have been a donkey, but it's still God used that donkey to be his messenger. You think about it, he did. He used that donkey to be his messenger. If you're on the wrong path, you know what the moral of this story is? If you're on the wrong path, you can stop and listen to others try to help you. You may not like what they say, but if it helps, heed it. See, our pride is don't want to be said. Don't want nobody to say, hey, you're not doing right. Because we feel like our ego will go, some egos are inflated. But I had preachers that taught me when I was coming up. When I got saved, Brother Jimmy Shirley, Preacher Larry Beaver, Preacher Larry Beaver, Preacher Charles Goodman, they were my pastors. And they taught me valuable lessons. Sometimes what they told me I didn't like, but I learned from it, and it helped me. You see here, God was to turn his message around and turn around. He was on this detour of correction. God was fixing to put him back on the right track. Then look at the revelation that came to him. I'll be through that minute. Look here. Look at the revelation that came to Balaam. Verse 31 and 33 says, Then the Lord opened the eyes of Balaam, and he saw the angel of the Lord standing in the way, and his sword drawn in his hand. He bowed his head down his head and fell flat on his face. And the angel of the Lord said unto him, Wherefore hast thou smitten thine eyes these 3 times? Behold, I went out to withstand thee, because thy way is perverse before me. And the ass saw me and turned from me these 3 times. Unless ye had turned from me, surely also I had slain thee. And say to her, he said, I'd have killed you. I'd have killed you, but that ass would have stayed alive. That mule, that dog would have stayed alive. He said, she saved your life. She saved your life. That's what she said. If you hadn't done what she did, you'd already been dead, mister. Hey, there's people in our life. Hey, man, it probably helped us, and we do not know until we would never know, probably never will know how close God was to fix to draw the sword and put it on us. But we heeded to somebody. Look at this revelation here. God had been tempted all the time. But Balaam, for some odd reason, he was perverse, he was stubborn, he was hard-headed, he was rebellious, he would not even comprehend what God was trying to do. God tried to use this like he does in our life. He'll use these trials to open our eyes up, get our eyes open. To try to show us before he has to draw the sword. Lord, I don't want God to draw the sword on me, do you? I don't want to take the sword out of the sheath and have to slay me. Balaam had seen what was seen earlier seen. Now he saw that angel standing over that sword drawn. Bible said, I believe God, the fear of God fell on him. He fell on his face before God. Well, I'll tell you what, when you really come to the place, you really see what God's trying to tell you. Amen. And you see that God doing it for your own good. And you see that's the only way. And you say, you caused it, the fear of God to fall on you. Yes, and fall down. And say, hey, God, I'm sorry. That's what they did. He was overwhelmed. And that attitude of stubbornness and rebellion turned into an attitude of respect and reverence for the messenger of God. He said, you know, he told Balaam, see, you're perverse. That means you were unconcerned and you were stubborn. You see, when people get on a detour of correction or something like that, that's why they get. They get stubborn. They get rebellious. But when God opens your eyes, God don't want to destroy your life. That's why he puts you on the detour of correction. Oh, he could leave you yourself, let you make a mess of it. He loves you enough, too much of that. He wouldn't send his son Jesus Christ to die and shed the precious blood for you. And let you go. He paid a lot for us, y'all. He paid a big price for us. We were possessions. Balaam learned a great lesson that day. If you read on a little further in the Bible, there later on, Balaam joined Israel and died in the fight with Israel. Read it. You see, he was going to curse him in the blessing. Instead of cursing Israel, he blessed Israel. But look here. He recognized his sin. He recognized he come to a realization. That's what we need to do. That's the point. That's the whole point of correction. Detour of correction. To get you a point to come to yourself. We see here, he confessed his sin. He says, and Balaam said to the angel, Lord, I've sinned. He said, I've sinned. He said, not that I fell short. He said, I've sinned. He told the angel, he said, I'm going to go back to where I came from. God wants us to go back on the right path where we can go. We get back on it. That's the whole idea, the whole object of this detour correction. May we always understand, there's not always going to be good days in our life as a child of God. You've got to understand that. We're going to have bad days. And we're going to have sometimes detours of correction in our life if we need it. That's not what God sent us when we need it. But we also need to understand this. God doesn't do it to destroy us. He does it to help us because He loves us. Let's remember this as we study, keep on going through the study of this Bible about these detours. I believe this is one of the detours that a lot of Christians tonight. I really believe that tonight, friend. I believe that many of people tonight are on that detour correction tonight because, like David, they slipped and slide. God had to do something to get protection. Father, thank you for this night. Thank you for letting me go back in the house of God. Thank you for everybody present in the house of God. I pray for these not here, those who sit.